Hey, beautiful people. Without the Father, I won't make you a video, but when He pushes me and tells me to do something, that is what I do. So I'm going to speak to you from my heart and talk to you about fear and love. Alright, perfect love casts out fear. The reason why people fear is because they don't have love. And God is love. Where God is, no fear could dwell. God is mighty. God is powerful. There's no fear with God, for He created all things. Fear is of Satan. Satan's fearful. Satan's afraid to die. Since he fell, his judgment has been set against him, and he lives in torment and trembling, not knowing the day or the time. But he knows that his time is short. Satan fears love because Satan doesn't have God. Satan doesn't have eternal life. And he cannot love. God is love. Satan is not made perfect in love because perfect love casts away fear. So what am I trying to tell you? I'm telling you that Satan is afraid and he's fearful. And him being fearful and afraid has intimidated you to be fearful and afraid from following the living God who made him. Do you see what I'm saying? Since Satan fell, he has never died. He's never died. He just knows he's going to. And he's going to die burn for eternity. That he knows. Why do you follow Satan and you don't follow the living God who made him? Why do you plot and scheme against the righteous and live in lies as Satan, a deceiver? He doesn't love anything or anyone, because as we know in the book of the Spirit of Love and in many other books, Satan cannot love. And we know if you don't have love, you don't have God. And love casts away all fear. So that is why people are fearful and afraid, because they don't have God. God never gave us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. So they have no power with God. They do not have love, and they do not have a sound mind. They're always worried. They're always procrastinating. They're always in fear because they don't have the Father. How can you follow Satan, what the Father made? Your logic and your understanding is beyond me. But I'm here to correct you, because He hates when I speak like this. I know who my enemies are, whether they'd like to admit it or not. I know who I fight against, whether they like to speak it or not. Because there's many secret societies who fight against me, and have been fighting against me daily, and have made, oh man, a lot of people know who I am. And that's what I'm going to say. Fear is the enemy of all creation. Fear is why you will sell out your mother and your brother and your sister and your mother and your father. But my Father is the Father who made everything, every living thing. And you shall not call any man your father, but the one who art in heaven. So that's where you're greatly deceived, because you look to man as being your father, and not to the Creator, who is the Father of all. You are greatly deceived because you follow the intimidation and fear of Satan instead of dreading the living God. Because even the devils and Satan know there's one God, and they tremble. And they tremble. Why don't you tremble? We're in the time where fear is being pushed to its highest scale on humanity. But we know when you have fear, you don't have God. You don't have love. A lot of people say they love you, and they love you with their words, but love is an action word. Love is an action word. Let me repeat that again. Don't love in words, love in deed. Do you stand up for truth? Do you stand up for righteousness? Do you stand up for injustice? Or do you false accuse? Do you ridicule? Do you mock? Do you slander? Do you kill, steal, and destroy for Satan? Do you turn away the righteous from his right for $1? Do you take a bribe against the life of the righteous? Do you destroy the works of God's living? Do you delight in it? Well, that means you're a child of Satan. You're not a child of the living God. Because the children of the living God stand up for righteousness. They stand up for truth. They stand up for injustice. And they don't fear. Because they're perfect in love with God. For God is love. And perfect love casts out fear. And He has not given us the spirit of fear, but He's given us the spirit of power, love, and a sound mind.